Alright folks, Cube Draft number 9 on MTGO, and what is our first pick going to be here? Well, the cards that stand out to me, you know what I haven't done is Red Deck Wins. Like, Shrine of Burning Rage is not a bad first pick for a Red Deck Wins deck. I don't think it's good, but I haven't done it yet. So like, I think looking at this pack, like the cards that like I would naturally want to first pick are Dak Faden, and I don't know what else. Like, maybe Brainstorm. A lot of folks devalue Brainstorm and Cube, but like I tend to, like, fetch lands are pretty, like if you start off with a Brainstorm, you can generally tend to build around it. There's a lot of shuffle effects. Like, you need to put them into your deck and build around them, but they're pretty potent. But I like Dak a lot too. Like, Dak does commit you to 2 colors, but Dak is very powerful in a powered cube, right? Wrath of God is not where you want to be. Control Magic is just, Control Magic is 2 for 1, but I mean, it's just so slow. I'm going to pick up the Shrine. I think it's a good enough sign, and here we're going to follow it up with a Soul Ring. So this pack must have had power in it. We'll probably wheel the Magus of the Moon, which I will reluctantly play. But I'm going to pick up a Soul Ring. Abbot of Carol Keep or Braid. This is a tougher pick. I think it's going to have to be Abbot. I think it has to be Abbot. Like, the Abbot supports the primary plan of a Red Deck Wins deck better than a Braid does, and I have a chance of finding more of those effects later. I do think a Braid is one of the best Red Deck Wins style artifact removers, other than like Fiery Confluence. That card's the best. Well, since we're on. This is the first time I think I've seen Blightsteel Colossus in this cube, which is awesome. What do I wheel out of this pack? Possibly the Winter Roar, but I'm going to pick up Hazoret here. Yeah. Okay, and there we go. Like, Manic Vandal is not a bad pickup here. Well, yeah, I'm going to pick up Manic Vandal, and maybe we'll wheel the Porcelain Legionnaire. I do think I want a Manic Vandal in this cube, though. Probably over the first. Well, the Porcelain Legionnaire is very efficient. Trying to have this other white weenie pickup in here. I'm going to pick up the Manic Vandal. The other card will likely not come around. Alright, caught the Hammer. Fine card. I think they've really bolstered combo and hindered the fair decks in this cube. I really do. I think the fair decks used to be a little bit better. This is not like the best of starts to a Red Deck Wins, and if someone else is in it, we're probably not going to have a very good build of it. But Koth is a very first pickable Red Deck Wins card, unless there's like Sulfuric Vortex in that pack. But yeah, we're going to be playing all this stuff like Jackal Pup, stuff like that. I think I will play Soul Ring. I mean, I've got a Hazoret, which it works well with. You can dump your hand pretty fast with the Soul Ring. It's 1 card down. Knocks a Koth out on turn 2. Not bad. Just make sure you attack with the right land. They eventually fixed that so that they got haste. I think with the Nissa cycle. But Koth, you could definitely choose the wrong one and just have a untapped 4/4 land that has Summoning Sickness. Always go to the back, or right-click on them, and you can see if they have Summoning Sickness or not, or newly controlled. So what do I think of this so far? I think this is a decent start for Red Deck Wins. Shrine of Burning Rage is... So Shrine of Burning Rage is an interesting card. It's actually an investment card in Red Deck Wins. You almost have to look at it like Sylvan Library in a lot of ways. I do, which is a weird way to look at it philosophically. But the card actually leads to like turn slower kills, but it provides you with eventuality. So Fire Drink Satyr or Burst Lightning. Burst Lightning is the more flexible card and less likely to wheel. There's going to be 1 card that comes back out of this pack. And I could see it being Fire Drink Satyr. So I think I'm going to pick up... Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm going to pick up the Burst Lightning here. Call me crazy. Alright, this pack kind of sucks. Rishport is what we're going to pick up, though. Rishport is better than Dualcaster. Dualcaster is... Well, I mean, I'd play Dualcaster if I didn't have another red pick. But Rishadan Port's basically a red-white card. If they could have a color, it would be red or white. And it would generally be played in aggressive curve tech decks. Right now, we don't have the semblance of a good curve, but we do have Soul Ring to power out some of our 4s. If we wanted to be worried about our curve, we would have taken the 2-1. But like I said, I think Burst Lightning, I don't know, it's tight. You really want the 1-drops in this deck. Not that like that's a great card, but it fulfills the function that this deck needs to run well. But I do think it has a much higher likelihood of wheeling than Burst Lightning. Burst Lightning is very splashable. It is removal. It is burn, just to go to head as well. So I think it's the right pickup there. I don't know. You guys can tell me if you think I'm wrong on that. That was actually a close pickup for me because I very much so value 1-drops in my aggressive decks. Like 1-drop creatures because you really want to have the ability to maximize on that. Well, based on this, I think there is a very high likelihood of that card coming back anyways because Hellrider came around. And Magus the Moon, it does turn off our Rishadan Port. Here, I guess we just hate out a Kitchen Finks. I'm not going to play a Levical Reaches. I also don't want to see Wall of Omens. Which worse for us, Wall of Omens or Kitchen Finks? I don't know. They're both really bad for red deck wins. People would probably automatically say Finks, but I don't know if that's true. Wall of Omens is really bad too. You're generally attacking, not attacking to hit them, but attacking to hit the wall and then burning off a card to kill the wall, which has already drawn a card. Here, I'll pick up the other white card in case I really have to go Boros. But I don't want to. If I have to combine a red deck with something, I generally want it to be green. Timely Reinforcements is another just complete hoser. Pyretic Ritual, there is a world in which we could possibly play that. Not one that I like, and I'll pick up the Honor of the Peer, I suppose. And there you go, exactly. So I think Burst Lightning would not have come back. I did think the Fire Drink would come back. If you look at my pack right now, or my picks right now, I only have one burn spell. So someone else is picking up burn spells, likely to support blue, and they're probably trying to build a blue-red twin deck, because it's one of the common... So blue-red twin, I think, is one of the decks that's easiest to draft. It's easiest to pick up enough of the playables to make it work. But is probably top tier. All right, this pack's interesting. I don't think I want a Glorybringer first pick. I think I'm going to actually pick up a Chrome Mox, but I'm not very happy about picking up a Chrome Mox first. It's not a fetch Lanx. It's not a red-based fetch. If it was a red fetch, I'd probably pick it above Chrome Mox because it thins my land drops out. But I think Chrome Mox is going to be more imperative than a 4-drop or a 5-drop for this deck. But if I have to go that route, I will. Glorybringer's not a bad card, but you can even power it out with Soul Ring and Koth. But the draws you don't have Soul Ring, it's going to be a lot worse. Glorybringer's decent with Soul Ring, but it's only a 4-power attacker at the end of the day. It does remove something, so it has some utility over a lot of the other cards that go in this deck. A lot of the cards in this deck don't have a lot of utility, but this deck actually is kind of shaping up to have some decent utility cards. Manic Vandal, Koth is not really utility. There's just kind of all pure damage. Abbott's Draw, Burst Lightning's utility. Fire Drink Satyr is not really utility. Alright, so Fire Blast is likely the pickup here. I don't think there's much to be discussed. Flame Tongue Kabu is a great card, but it's a blue-red card. Snapcaster's great. Tolarian Academy is a build-around, but very strong one. I haven't done that yet, actually. It's too bad this is Pack 2. And the Demonic Tutor is also quite good. Lotus Cobra in a green X deck's not bad. Dig Through Time, you really... so the Delve cards you really need to build around and have a lot of fetches, cantrips, stuff like that, counter spells. Because they're a lot harder to get working. You don't get them working by turn 2 or 3 like you do in Vintage in this format. I just played one in Oath, and it was very good in Oath because I just get my first Oath critter, and then I had a Time Walk in the deck. And if I didn't mill it, I'd set up a Time Walk off of it because generally speaking, in a 40-card deck, you're going to mill about half your deck. If you're a 2-critter Oath is what I was playing. So yeah, we still need to flesh out the curve here. We have not hit well in the first 2 packs. Fire Blast is a pretty strong card for this deck, but alright, Fiery Confluence is a beast. I see the Library of Alexandria, and people may tell me I'm crazy, and Library goes in every deck. I don't think it does. The games... So, here's the thing. Let's say I do have it in my opener. I'm just going to reserve this now. Let's say I do have it in my opener, and I start using it. Then I'm not dropping 1-drops, getting an incremental damage, putting down Shrines of Burning Rage. I'm getting card advantage, but I'm not really accruing tempo. And whatever my opponent's doing, which is likely more powerful than what I'm doing, everything's more powerful than Red Deck Wins. Red Deck Wins is just consistent and fast. It's not very powerful. So I don't think you want Library. I think you want Confluence, which does increase the utility of the deck quite a bit. But it is my 4th 4-drop, which means I'm probably going to have to look to cut. And right now, it may even just be I don't know what. I don't know what I'm going to cut in this. This is an easy pick. It's a Searing Spear. Sweltering Suns is a fine card, but it's not going to make the cut in this deck. Alright, so Searing Spear. Good card. Alright, Goblin Guide. Goblin Guide's a good one. And there are a lot of other great cards. Grim Monolith is a beast. Force of Will, I do think is great in the cube. Leyline of Sanctity should not be in the cube. Pulukaros is bad. Disc is kind of beyond its time. Lotus Bloom is kind of meh. Rite of Flame is like the worst of the rituals. Living Death is a build-around card, but extremely powerful in the deck it wants to be in. Pick up the guide here. See, I don't even know if like this deck wants like Black Lotus in it, which is kind of crazy to say. Like, it does make your openers more powerful, and you'll probably win some free games. But you're down a card from it, so it makes it a little tough. Like when you're down those cards. Yeah, I mean, it's just a Jackal Pup here, which I'm actually happy about this because I'm hitting my 1-drops now, which just means this is how the pack's broke. Now I want to start looking to get some more burn, because right now I only have the Burst Lightning, the Searing Spear, the Fire Blast, and the Fiery Confluence. Fiery Confluence is probably one of the stronger pickups we got. So this is an interesting one. Like, I think some folks would like look at the Avalanche Riders and fall in love with it. I'm not. Like, Avalanche Riders I think is a blue-red, really a green-red card. Magma Jet is perfect because it's good utility against like small creature threats, or it goes to Dome on end step, and it allows you to set up your draw step. So it's like library manipulation. I mean, which in a lot of ways, like in Red Deck wins, like scrying is almost can equate to drawing cards. Well, this is a pretty easy pickup. We are a mono red deck with one Rishadan port in it, so Goblin Chain Whirler, get in there, man. This will be the first time I played this card. Siege Gang's an awesome card as well, but again, like I think you may have heard me say in my other cubes, it's a blue-red card at the end of the day, and I think it's probably a worse version of Pia and Kieran, which I think is in this cube, but I don't know. Pia and Kieran is kind of an in-between card. Like, you could play it in Red Deck wins if you just didn't get there on your 4s. So as much as I love Lion's Eye Diamond, and why are you wheeling Lion's Eye Diamond? I know why you are, because no one has balls. Excuse me, I'm sorry, I can't say that. No one is brave enough to do that. I'm going to pick up the Glory Bringer. Put it in my sideboard for now. It could be played. So what else do we want to complete the picture here? Like, one more 1-drop. I do want a couple of 2-drop creatures. I only got one right now. Probably... Alright, FTK came back. That's not a shocker. Do I want a Caracas? Caracas is interesting to me. FTK is probably better against, like, the green decks. Caracas is a really good sideboard option, though, against, like, Reanimator. You just be like, bam, what are you going to do? I don't know, though. I think Kavu is probably the correct pick, though. And we'll pick up another Ritual. Storm is, like, wide open. Like, there's Mirari's Wake here. There's Fastbond. Unexpectedly Absent, guys, is, like, a lot better than people give it credit for. Like, it is Memory Lapse. Like, it is seriously a counterspell, essentially. As long as it doesn't have an ETB, it's a counterspell. Sweltering Suns is fine. I am not ever going to cast the Sundering Titan. Terminate, okay. Yeah, Brain Freeze. Avalanche Rider. So no one's drafting red, I don't think. So like, we could pretty much have whatever gets opened, I think. Maybe outside of some minor burn. But like, all of the red creatures are coming back. So I do need to prioritize, I think, burn over creatures at this point. That's very obvious to me. It was pretty evident after Pack 1, but I think it's like even more so now after Pack 2. Okay, Ruby. So this is an interesting pickup. So like, Figure of Destiny could be gone when this comes back. I don't really need Exquisite Firecraft, but Ruby is such a high upside card that I think I am going to pick it up here. But I do have that figure. I think I'm going to get the Firecraft, but I want the figure. I think the figure is more important to this style of deck than the uncounterable 4-damage burn spell is. Neither card's horrible, though. I mean, figure's a better card, but I want the curve to be as low as possible, especially if I intend on playing Hazoret, which I think is going to be played in this deck. Alright, Splinter Twin is great. Mox Emerald is great too. Oddly enough, I think it's just Zergo Bellstriker though. You know, Zergo's going to come back. I'm going to pick up the... Well, actually another option is Mishra's Factory, because it's kind of a free threat. But I do have Trip Red requirements. What does the Mox allow me to get out though? Like, I think I just want a higher threat density. I think I'm just going to... Factory will probably come around, maybe come around. We'll see. Lightning Bolt to Grim. Grim will come around. Lightning Bolt's to pick up here, very easy. Now it's like 2 and 3 drop creatures. I do probably need to cut a 4. I don't think it's Hellrider in this deck. I have 10 creatures. Alright, this pack's a stinker. So it's either Bloodstained Mire to thin lands or a Mutavault just to have an extra attack land. I think I'm going to take the extra attack land here. Although I don't... In this deck, I think it's fine. A Mutavault's fine. Alright, this is a pretty easy char, I want to say. I already have artifacts with 1 card in my deck. Char is just good direct to the face burn. Where I can do one half of it, but I think I'm just better off with a Char here. I wonder if Arc Trail's still in here. Arc Trail will be good because it's a good utility card for red deck wins against like White Weenie. Or like other like Mana Dorks is very good against. I do want that Grim back. I think I will main deck the Grim because I expect my matches to be very attritional against like certain decks. You saw it here first though. We did pass a piece of the Power 9 for a Zergo Bell Striker. I think given the context of where we're at in the draft, it was right. So like the way I look at it, like I have a Soul Ring already that is going to provide me with a dearth of colorless mana. And I think the issue I'm going to run into with this deck, well, Arid Mesa would be great, but I'm going to pick up another playable. The issue I'm going to run into with this deck is that, like, a Mox is going to be card disadvantage. It's going to make me a little faster, but not so much so that I think it's worth losing the card slot. And I really don't want to replace a Mountain Land with a Mox that is off color, because I already have Rashad Port and Mutavault, and I think I want to play those. Because I think their effect can be strong enough to color screw a 3-color opponent, or to just get into the final like 2 points of damage, to attack post Wrath. Yeah, Mutavault does a decent bit for you. I mean, like it could have even been more correct as opposed to the Zergo to take the Mishra's Factory, but I think we take the red card because it combines well with our Shrine of Burning Rage, combines a little better with Hellrider. It's more efficient because the man lands do cost mana to do. Direfleet Daredevil is a card I will play in this deck. And it is a 2-drop, my second 2-drop creature, which is nice. Alright, I mean, this is kind of a buy. I'm not going to play Faithless Looting, but I could sideboard it in. Probably will never run Welder. I guess Welder could F up another artifact player. Actually, Welder's an interesting sideboard card. Like, if I play against like the Mono Brown deck, it could totally screw them over. I can't really do... I guess, actually, you know what? It also combines well with Shrine of Burning Rage. But I have to have another artifact in the graveyard. I guess I could Fiery Confluence or Manic Vandal my own thing, and then welder it back in, or use it to weld in a Shrine of Burning Rage over and over again. That's kind of an interesting tact. I mean, you only get to do it once or twice, but I think it is more upside than... Like, I'm not going to play that. Another card is a combo card. I always forget that damn card's name. Frantic Search or Faithless Looting. It's a combo card. It is card disadvantage, which you do not want to have. Alright, well, both cards came back that I wanted. And here I think I do take the creature. Yeah. Splinter Twin or Mishra's Factory? Mishra's Factory is probably the pickup. Grim Lavamancer, great. Alright, Duretti? No, probably not. Mana Flare? No, I don't have Fireball in my deck. I don't have Shivan Dragon either. Mana Flare's a combo card. It's for Storm. Matter of fact, if you saw my Cube Draft 7, I want to say, I used that card to storm off my opponents. So nothing really good here. Is there a world in which we would ever sideboard into a burning of Genie? It'd be a very weird world indeed. I guess if we had taken the Rakdos land, the black-red man land, we could have sideboarded into this. Yeah, no imagination, man. Like, this is a Martello Shops All-Star. I just played it in a blue-red deck and went 3-0 with it. It was stellar. And Yawgmoth's Bargain just deserves a lot of respect. I mean, I actually dissed it a little bit when I was drafting Storm because it was my only draw 7, and I was like, this thing's too slow, but it was not. Progenitus, no imagination either. I just played that in Oath. Main decked it. It's pretty stellar. So what do I think of this deck? I think we have too many playables. We have to cut some. I think they're going to be in the 4 spot. What's better, Hellrider or Hazoret? I really don't know. Puts us at 13 lands, which is probably not enough. We probably want to be at 14 with this deck, maybe 15. Got the Abbot for draw. Direfleet Daredevil, I think I'm going to try in this deck. It could be wrong. It does have First Strike too, which is not irrelevant. Allows you to attack into some green creatures decently well. I think a 4 needs to go. Actually, no, Magus of the Moon's bad. Magus of the Moon is bad. Like, it's not a good main deck card. So that's another mounting there. I think we want to go 15 in this deck. I don't know. The Chrome Box may be too speculative. It is quick. Like, I do have some good top-end cards. Like, Koth is a great top-end card. Hazoret is. Hellrider is not bad. So maybe I want Chrome Box. Like, powering out 1-drops is not that great. It's fine, and sometimes you'll just mise, and because you're attacking them for 4 on turn 2, it's good enough. But generally speaking, it's not. I think I do want Grim. Grim is just good against white decks. Good against the green decks, the mana dorks and whatnot. It allows you to gain card advantage out of the cards you've already spent. I do think I need a Vandal in this deck. It may be a card that we commonly sideboard. What is the 4 I want to cut? It's not. It can't be Fiery Confluence. That card has so much power. The upside to it's just so high. And I don't think it's Koth. Is it Hazoret? It is indestructible and hasty. I mean, as is the Hell Rider, though. I'm only at 12 creatures, though. I think I cut the Hell Rider out of the deck. Oh, wait. I'm actually short on playables right now. What did I do? Why does Moto not put the right amount of lands in when I say add lands? So Hell Rider, get back in there. And then all I want to do is play one more land. So, perfect. Thank you, Moto. So we're 15 lander, but we do have 3 utility lands. Well, 2 that attack and 1 utility land. And then Chrome Mox and Mox Ruby. So it'll play like 18, I guess. It'll play like probably 16, because I'm not going to really count the Mishra's Factory and the Mute of all his lands. They're not really. And I have Sol Ring too. Yeah, I think this is the deck, though. I think we do save it. I mean, it could maybe go 1 land shorter to 14, because you're really dependent on your top deck with a deck like this. We don't have a lot of manipulation. And we're really hoping to win die rolls, like really badly. We did not win the die roll here. But this hand's great. It's got a turn 1 something. It's probably just got a turn 1. I'm going to keep this. We'll see what we draw. We're on the draw. This hand's actually a little better on the draw. All right, Mana Dork, draw a Burn Spell. I'm going to say Mountain a go. I could drop one of these threats, and maybe Direfleet Daredevil was correct just to drop there. Yeah, in retrospect, it probably was. Alright, Awakening Zone. That card's spooky. Allows him to block for a long time. Alright, Mox. Don't be a 4-drop. Be a 1-drop creature. Come on, deck. Heart of the cards. Alright, Rishadenport. Go. Yeah, I should have dropped the Direfleet Daredevil just to pressure my opponent more. They're on a big mana deck, which is going to be a tougher matchup unless I get an early fast start. Now, what's my best top deck? Probably Koth or Hell Rider would be fine, because it's going to allow me to force through more damage. Alright, they're going to have, like, what, a Thrun or something? That would be god-awful for us. Oh, Walking Ballista. That's also god-awful for us. Well, this may be one of the worst matchups. Like, White Weenie and, like, Mono Green are, like, bad matchups for this deck. Because they just have life gain and, like, good efficient creatures and mana ramp. And this draw is not working out very well. Yeah, I think I save it, man. I think I save this Direfleet Daredevil. We've drawn a few too many lands here. Maybe we do need to cut down 1 land. We're on the play next time, so I probably won't. They could pump their Walking Ballista a lot. I do have Manic Vandal, which can deal with it. If they play something else, maybe I can mise them. Or they're just going to put a +1. But that makes sense to me. And do nothing else. Okay. Okay. Can't play the Grimount either. Yeah, Walking Ballista with I think we just tap this and do this. They can pump it right now, but they're not going to see their draw step. I should have done that before. They can sack one of their Eldrazi signs. Oh, they have tons of mana anyways. Maybe they'll play something else. Alright, they play a Nissa, which untap 4 lands, pump Walking Ballista. Yeah, we are a dog to win this one, especially with them at 20 life. I may just concede this one and go to game 2 and just now that we know what they're playing, keep a little better. I think this was a fine keep against like control or combo, but against like mono green fair, it's not. And they just drew 4 cards. Ugh. Get in there for 2 with their ballista, and they're not even going to bother. I think I just bolt this thing. And I can actually get the Harmonize back. Yeah, just go ahead. I don't want this thing on the board. This thing is just such a huge problem for us. We probably trade our 2 Mishra's Factory, or not trade, but trade our mana for their mana here. It's kind of like a Rishadan port anyways by doing this. So, yup. Send these 2 in to attack Nissa. They'll get blocked, but it puts them down like 2 mana, which is probably not highly relevant, but it's something. It's better than nothing, right? I think it's our best line. I mean, I could play out the Grim there as opposed to attacking. All right, they take 2 on the Nissa, which maybe all they need is like 1 ramp with Nissa, because, I mean, they have 5, 9, 11, 12 mana right now. They can strip mine one of my man lands, probably. Okay. Strip mine the better blocker. All right, secure a Tribe Elder. Maybe they don't have a good payoff here. All right, Skull Clamp is disgusting. This is going really bad, guys. So we need to hit the Manic Vandal off the top and hope they still have drawn junk. Or I could just go for a Harmonized turn. Maybe I go for Harmonized and try to burn them out from a bazillion. I don't think it's a great plan because they're gonna have like an extra chump blocker every turn. But actually, now I can burn out the Nissa if I draw a 3-mana burn spell. That's also interesting. If I drew that, I'll probably do that before I will. Harmonize here. But now we are going to harmonize. But I could draw a Lightning Bolt, and I will Chrome Mox something to Lightning Bolt them. So Direfleet, Daredevil, and Harmonize. I'm still playing this, but I don't think I think my outs are like below 10%, maybe below 5%. If I didn't have this Harmonized line, I would probably say they were like less than 1. But this is a lot of cards. Puts me back up to 7. Given I'm going to have to spew like 3 in order to deal with the Nissa if I draw what I need here. Alright, I can't cast anything off this, but I think... Alright, and go. I think how this win starts, I mean, I'm going to start having to use Rishadan Port to keep myself alive here. And the likelihood that they didn't draw something that was extremely relevant for them in the top bazillion cards of their deck is pretty unlikely. I mean, they drew 2 plus 1 off the last draw step, plus draw step here, plus at least 2 clamp activations, and possibly an untap with Nissa. They could make another man land, but Rishadan Port does deal with the man lands. I could even trade a Mutavault for 1 and then snipe it with the Grim Lavamancer, but this looks like a big thing. Like a Terastodon or something. Really need them to screw up. The cool thing about the green decks is sometimes they do have like big mana, go nowhere hands. This is not going to be one of them. They're going to like Tooth and Nail us here or something like that. Oh, cast Ulamog. Alright, well that we can concede to because I'm not going to let them see my library. And I'm not going to be able to kill that thing. So we're going to go to sideboarding here. That is good enough for me. Magus the Moon is bad. Sweltering Suns is interesting. Glorybringer flies, so I think it does give it a little more upside. Hellrider doesn't feel great in this matchup. Koth is probably not... Like, I don't think I can cut Koth, though. So I put in the Glorybringer and cut Jackalpup, probably. I'm going to try that. I think I want a flyer here. Just to get over the top of these silly green dudes. Alright, this hand's actually really good against them because I have a Lightning Bolt on turn. I have a good turn 1 play, which I think is going to be the Figure of Destiny. I can pump Figure, attack for 2, bolt this thing. I'm going to bolt this thing right away. Like, I just need time here. I pump this dude. There's a world in which I charge something next turn. Actually, there's a world in which I just like make this thing a 4/4. Actually, all right. Play like a Secura Tribe Elder. No Signet. That's perfect. That is actually epic level good for us. And we even drew the land, so we don't need them Chrome Mox here. I would love to pump my dude, but putting them back another turn on mana is just perfect. So blow that thing up. Get in for some damages. And if they miss here on land drop, we probably have this game bagged up. Yes! Alright, so that's the thing with green is there's a little more variance laden. Like I'm not going to have a lot of variance in my deck, but when their deck works, it's just going to run me over. So we're on the draw this time, which means we may have wanted to cut a land, actually. This hand looks okay. I'm going to keep it. Alright, go ahead. Yep. I'm probably just going to ditch the Dire Fleet for no value. Alright, Elf, Bolt, one time. Nope. This dude. And I'm not going to be able to play the factory until 4, but how right next this hand curves out. So like, and if they just have a bunch of like 1/1s and nonsense, like it's possible like the Chain Whirler can just like knock out a bunch of their crap. My worry is like, what are they going to play with it? Our Ancient Stirrings could get like a Drazi Cretan, gets a Sundering Titan. Sundering Titan is not really good against us, but it's still pretty bad if they cast it. If they attack, I will block. I may even just attack them prior to the combat step. Or not prior to playing a land and casting, just to see if they want to block and trade here. I mean, it's not really great for me, but I think it's bad for them too. I think they're going to take it. I mean, I'm spewing value here by not casting the Ancient Stirrings, although really all I can find is like a Soul Ring. I guess I can find a bit, but I'm not going to cast their thing. I'm just going to get my threat down. And hopefully next turn, yep, I can't cast it, but it's going to be exiled, so it's out of their yard. I don't know if that's relevant or not. 4 mana's a big game, so what do you got? Alright, Walking Ballista is horrible for us. It's going to trade with our 2 things, but what can you do? We're going to put him back a turn here, though, with a Chain Whirler, and then next turn we're going to lay on a Hell Rider, and hopefully, well, no, maybe not. Alright, Chain Whirler, go. They get their 2-for-1, we get our 2-for-1 here. And he does First Strike, which is actually pretty big. I'm not sure if it's Koth. I think it is Koth here first. But they're back up to 4 now. Okay, they're cycling. That's nice. Alright, they're regrowthing the Elf. Alright, so if I alpha in with the Hell Rider this turn, I'm doing 8 damage. Next turn, cast Koth. Deal 3. This probably shouldn't be a hard turn for me, but it kind of is. I think I like this line the best. Oh, wow! Wow! They just weren't on it. This does the most damage this turn. So, like, the reason I went this line, this is a close line. Like, the Koth is less damage this turn, but it's more on the following turn with creature permanents. But because they're green, I think what I want to do is just maximize all-out damage this turn. Like, just beat them the hell up, do 8 damage, put them down to 9. And then if I draw a land, I've got 6 points in hand. They're at 8. I just attack, and even if they have a life-linking threat, the damage from Hell Rider alone just kills them. So that was kind of the gambit that we were taking there. So cool. Managed to get there. Not an easy matchup, I don't think, though. If we could not see like white weenie, if we could just like play against control, I think control, like maybe not blue-red control, like blue-white control is what we want to face. Blue-white control or like some combo decks. Combo decks I think are fine. Sometimes they'll just win out of nowhere because that's what combo does, but most of the time the consistency of this deck will just destroy them. So this is a Soul Ring hand that I cannot keep. This is a Soul Ring hand that I would love to keep, but I don't think I'm going to play Soul Ring turn 1. Interesting. Keep. I do get to scry here, which is kind of nice. And I can scry that right to the bottom. Now I'm going to draw like Chain Whirler and just be like sad-faced. Red deck wins loves to see people mulligan, so I'm happy about that. Next turn I can cast a Char off of a man land and Soul Ring. So I can do 6 on the next turn. Depends if they have a blocker or not. If they're white weenie, I'm in a lot of trouble. Alright, black I think is okay for us. Alright, well I think we lead with the Mishra's Factory. Play out the Soul Ring. Actually, that was incorrect. It should have been Mutavault because we can attack for 3 with Mutavault next turn. The question becomes, do I cast Char or not? I probably should have just pumped, actually. Do I throw Burn at face? I think I do against black because like him is such a beating. And the next question becomes, like, do we take the risk on not having double red if we get like himmed or something? Oh, well. Wait, no, that doesn't work. Get in with both, and we will Rishport them on their next turn. If they have a kill spell, they don't want to do it there, because I'll just turn the Mishra's Factory sideways, make mana with it, and then pump my Fire Drink. On to 10. And they didn't do anything last turn on 2, so the chances of them doing something relevant on turn 2 this turn are lower. Okay, they do have a man land that has lifelink there. Just going to play a threat out. Like, I know this is horrible value, but I think it is the right play to just get it out there and keep them on the ropes. Black mana means discard generally. It can mean that. There for 4, down to 6, dead next turn, tap. Shambling Vent on upkeep. So I don't want you gaining life. No, sir. And your go at it. But if they kill both my threats, I still have the factories. Alright, yeah. Red deck wins. Okay, I didn't see enough of their deck to know what I should sideboard. I know they're playing against a black deck. Mono black decks I should be very good against, like unless they like just discard my whole hand. Like discard, the black's best suit against red deck wins is like discard, or like just reanimating like a Worm Coil Engine or some silly stuff. But like it's hard for them to actually like fight it. Like the aggro black decks I don't think are very good against it. Plus I don't have an answer to Shrine. Shrine is probably almost like just like game over against a mono black deck unless they can be really fast. Okay. I think I'm going to be a little greedy here and actually keep this. It is greedy, but I'm on the draw. I have 2 1-drops. If I hit 2 mana, I get the card I was just saying is like really epically good against black decks. They could be more of a white deck. It's hard telling. I think they're more base black. All right, well, they're Mardu. Get it in while you can. This is probably going to get removed in some horrible way, but that's fine. Swords to, like Path to Exile would be great. Like if they ramp me, I would be so happy. All right. Well, I didn't hit my land drop, but I was greedy with this keep. I will be the first to admit that. If I had, I think the payoff on this hand is just so high, and like the chances of hitting a land are decently high. I mean, I'm essentially a 16 land deck at this point. We're not going to leave Bolt up. Maybe I want to for like Thalia or something. That's it. That's all I got, man. I'm sorry. I kept a greedy one. You can tell me I'm bad now. The payoff was really high on this hand, though, if it did hit its land. Or even a Chrome Mox. I would have played a Chrome Mox out in a heartbeat. Play a threat I can kill with the Lightning Bolt, please. Alright. I think they'll trade with the Figure of Destiny here. I don't like that, but because I'm so mana light, like the Figure of Destiny is a better card. Like, don't get me wrong. And I just 2-for-1 myself, but I need to do it here because the damage just needs to keep on going through. Like, I need to get enough damage in that Shrine can become relevant. And I feel like I'm probably not going to get there this game. Yeah, we're not doing so hot here. This has double strike, right? Well, if we're going to land, we can also just Magma Jet to set up lands on top of our deck. Not feeling very good. Like, Baneslayer Angel would be like what I would expect. Alright, this card I think is okay. I'm going to plus here. I mean, we got in a bunch of damage with the 2-1. Alright, well, I think what we have to do is put down the Shrine of Burning Rage. Ophiomancer or Blade Splicer may come back. Do I attack here? No, I don't think there's relevance in attacking here. Actually, it's better to leave it back because the double strike on this thing will kill this thing and only do 2 damage to me as opposed to 4. So it's better to block the Needle Spires if they activate it. So Jackal Pup is actually a better blocker in this situation randomly than it is in the offense because it prevents more damage blocking here, which is never been true with the exception of double strike, I guess, is the caveat to that. Like I said, if they don't have an answer to Shrine, there's still a possibility, especially with Fire Blast, that we can make this happen. Like, it's very, very tight. I'm not going to block the 2-2. I'm going to take this because I want to leave my mana. I think I want to be able to block the Double Striker. Alright, Shrine ticks up. They have no artifacts in play, so I'm going to take the time. Actually, with Fiery Confluence, I'm also pretty well set up to just win here. This does what? If they want to ultimate that as opposed to like bringing something back, I think I'm fine with that. Like, I'll lose my Jackal Pup, sure, but I mean, like, that's okay, I think. Okay, create a 2-2, so there's 6 power staring us down now. I think I'm going to still take 4. Okay, they gain 2. I'm going to set this to face. And if I find a land, I can actually Fiery Confluence to blow up the board. That's going to the bottom. I want burn at this point because I'm on the Shrine plan. So that goes to me. If I deal 6 here, they're down to 8. This is at 4. Ticks up to 5. Fire Blast on upkeep. Then we have to do this. Just remove all the zombies from the board. If they play like a Batter Skull, that'd be really good for us. I don't think they're going to, but if they did, that'd be sweet. And I may just play a Hell Rider around just to block next turn. Maybe I did want the Goblin Guide. No, I want Burn. Like, Goblin Guide is just going to get blocked by a zombie here. And, like, possibly give them a land. Like, it's going to give me 1 damage, essentially, on Shrine. I guess it's more if I have Hell Rider. Oh, no. Oh, no. That's sad. That's sad times. Oh, wait. They have Timely Reinforcements, too? What else is in their graveyard? Damnation. Vraska's Contempt is mildly interesting. Just playing this thing out. I mean, if it gets to hit, like, I'm in a very good spot. It's probably not going to get to hit. Attacking E-punt. And if he gets to attack one more time... Alright, block. Alright. So tight. If Dire V Daredevil was Snapcaster Mage, and I could like do it from both graveyards, man, it'd be so much better. So much better. Like, I don't need much here, I just need a very little bit. They probably want to have a blocker for the Hell Rider, I would think. I'm glad Timely's out of their deck. Alright. Interesting. Can I Dire Fleet Daredevil into Damnation? That'd be just cool. In a minimum... Alright, they get a snake. Snaky snake. Whew, so close. So close. So the play here is to Manic Vandal the Golem. Pump the figure. And now their attacks are a lot worse. And their Putrid cannot block. And if I draw any other burn spell, I can win the game here. Okay, that's a very spooky card. If they reanimate him and take any damage off of it, I win. Alright, so they have the Gristle Brando. If they draw, I could win too. That'd be sick. Alright, Gilded Lotus is irrelevant to me. Any burn. Any burn. One time. No whammies. Actually, land would be good enough too because I can Anguish Unmaking the Gristlebrand. Alright, Consecrated Sphinx. Okay. This is a weird-ass deck. So there's like a Reanimator, like, weird deck. Alright, that's flying. I take 2. So I drew a land, essentially. Hazoret's going under this thing, because Hazoret doesn't really do anything for me. So I essentially have to cast... Oh, Timely Reinforcements is actually also interesting, but no, I have to deal with... I'm short for Vraska's Contempt. It's Anguish Unmaking. On the Gristlebrand, I want to say, because I just have to. I can't allow them to gain life. But if they draw cards, I can kill them. Alright, Anguish Unmaking, please. Thank you. So I go down to 9 here. Take 4. It's going to be tight. 4, 6. Down to 3. I think we may have another turn. I take 6 in the air right now. And then 1 more point because I have to block the double striking land. Alright. Come on, deck. Any burn spell. Just don't gain life. Ugh. That's game over. Concede. Alright. Well, you know what I'm curious about? Let's... Oh, no, not reveal hand. No, I wasn't going to get there. Shouldn't have revealed my hand. I didn't want to do that. I do think I have a decent matchup here, though. I don't think it's bad. I'm going to keep... I think... So they have Damnation. They have Living Death. They have a lot of cards against creatures. So I just need to get my burn in early. Like, what are my top decks there? Like, I had the Spear in hand. Burst Lightning. Bolt was gone. Was really Burst Lightning Char. Was it? Or maybe I had Strike left. I can't remember if I had Spear or Strike in hand. They're the same card, really. But yeah, it was close. Like, we were not as far off as you may think. Alright, I'd love to play first. Hand is perfect. I would never want to return this in a million years. So turn 1, Fire Drink Satyr. Turn 2, Richport, tap. Turn 3, land. Possibly Bolt, tap. We'll see what they do, but they didn't appear to have fast mana, so get this dude down early. They do, however, have Timely, which is spooky. Alright, Putrid Imp. I don't like this, but I'm going to have to tap their land here. Can I trade them? Fuck. I see reanimation. They have the Liliana. That's it. No, I'm going to have to say go. It's close, but I think I got to say go here. That is unfortunate for us to have to face right now. They could be ditching stuff in the yard. Okay. Tap your black-blue land. Mono greedy mana. Alright, black land, cool. If you want to attack, I will be happy with that. Ditch some cards. Well, that's miserable if we're facing that. Yeah, losing to Iona would be miserable. That should not be in the cube. This is just dumb. It's not a good way to play Magic, in my opinion, but what can you do? If they beat me fair and square, I would be happy with that, but Iona, Shield of Emeria, is just miserable to lose to. Hopefully they don't have it. How do we beat Iona? Like, we probably don't. Like, the only way we can beat Iona is with Shrine and Manlands. Is there a double black reanimation spell that I can't think of right now? I don't think so. I mean, there's like big ones, but I think I'm going to tap their white mana because Timely Reinforcements is a bigger beating than is a big beating. So I don't really want them. Timely is definitely a sorcery, so if you have that, you're not casting it here. Chain Whirler does template pretty well against Timely Reinforcements, though. So I mean, at a minimum, like that could be a thing, and I can do that next turn. All right. Well, they're out of lands. I don't think I cast. Well. You know what? Like I think we play them out here. I know we're losing value if they have Timely and they can cast it on the next turn, but I think the upside is pretty high if they just miss on the color they need, because they are like 4 or 5 colors, 4 colors. They're not green. Tap your white land. Gain 6, get 3 3/3s. Miserable. Okay, him I can deal with. Like, I don't want to lose a char, but I'm glad I put the permanent source down. And it fuels, randomly enough, my Grim. Actually... No, we're going to do this. I'm just going to fuel this dude up, because I think it's more relevant to get this damage in now. Well, I can. So they're dead next turn if they just miss. Alright, bunch of black, but it's 2 turns. Even if they put Iona down, I can just attack into it and then Grim Lava Mancer them to death. Alright, so I think we avoided some bullets there. They had some nasty cards against red deck wins. Like, Timely Reinforcements is a beating, but I think it's the fair kind of beating. Iona is just dumb. Like, this card is poorly designed. Like, basically promotes not playing games of Magic, but it is what it is. It's been a printed card, so folks are going to play it. I'm not blaming the opponent by any means. I just think it's a poorly designed card for Cube, especially because you're just going to have my deck just can't play against that. I'd be like, all right, cool. Unless I have onboard presence, I'm just done. But I do think that Rishport, and I'd be curious to have seen my opponent's hand. I think Rishport did a lot of work for us there. One, they were a little mana light, and yeah, Rishport, I think honestly in certain decks maybe even better than Wasteland. Because in Cube especially, they're not going to have a ton. They're going to have basics in their deck, and it's going to make the utility of Wasteland a little lower. Obviously, Strip Mine's probably better than both, but I don't even know if that's true, because Rishport, its value kind of increases over time as you understand what their game plan is based on how their mana develops and how they cast. So by game 3, you have a lot of good hidden information available to you that allows you to kind of play better. All right, well, this hand's a keep. Turn 1, Figure. Turn 2, Dire Fleet if we want to. And then we have 2 4s, which is not optimal, but we have a couple draw steps. I'm going to keep this, and yeah. I may just even pump my Figure and not play out the Dire Fleet. Because it's not like I have a 3-drop that I'm dying to cast. And Dire Fleet is a value card in Red Deck Wins, which is kind of cool. And you've actually seen it once, although I died regardless of casting it in that game. Alright, so opponent mulliganed. Figure a go. Alright, Mana Dork, not what I want to see. That's more like it, though. I will probably attack into that and allow them to block and trade if they want. Alright, not a Kitchen Finks. One time. Attack me, alright. I'm just going to play stuff out here. I don't think it's great, but the Hazoret is kind of dangerous just sitting in my hand. And ideally, next turn, we're able to transition into a Hell Rider and then a Hazoret after that and just get a boatload of damage in. Hazoret actually is decent against the green decks because Indestructible, 5/4 haste is no joke, and she does, kind of just do damage in of her own right. Master of the Wild Hunt would probably be the thing I want to see the least here. Or Obstinate Bailiff, which I don't think is the cube. Or Harmonize is perfect. I don't really care if they're taking turns to draw cards here. I just want to push damage right now while I can. An interesting line here is, I can't double pump. What I could do is burn off their elf and then Hellrider them. I think the right line here is just to get Hellrider online and say, hey, have it, dude. And if I hit a land drop, all right, they're just, I was going to say, they know they don't have it. They're like, I'm done. Cool. So we got to steal a first game there. Flame Tongue Kavu and Glorybringer tend to be pretty decent against these style of decks. Glorybringer just because it goes over the top of what they're doing. If I were to do Glorybringer, I would probably take out what? Possibly the Vandal, because I didn't see artifacts. It's not impossible to have some. But I think the Bringer brings a little bit more to the fight than the Manic Vandal does against Green Deck. Because the Green Deck doesn't need mana ramp from artifacts. It just has creatures to do it. Which makes it a little better that way. It's even possible, we see their deck the second game, we want Sweltering Suns, and I can just slow roll it if I have it in my opener, and get 2 to 3 cards, get some advantage. Alright, this hand's great because it has 2 burn spells to knock out early dorks, and it has a turn 1 threat. The question will be, do we control or do we go aggro initially? And I think the answer is we want to go control initially because we have a Rishadan port to back that plan up. Yeah, so if they play a turn 1 Mana Dork, I'm just going to Burst Lightning it here. Yep. Zergo, certainly not a bad one. If they have a turn 2 Rofellos, then I have the opportunity to play a threat and burn off a card because I'm not going to try to Rishport with a Rofellos on the board. Alright, birds. Well, you know what the adage is. You always bolt the birds. We could do that as well, but I think it makes more sense to play out my Fire Drink Satyr here and then just burn it off. Because their mana is going to be more important to them than mine is to me. My curve tops, well, I guess at 5 now. Alright, survival. Card's kind of spooky. I think we just go hammer fist to the face here. I could have dashed him in, but I don't think I want to do that. I could have tapped a land too, but it's just going to end up survivaling for a card. They did not survival on end step, which means their hand is threat light. And if I hit a land, I can just go Hazard the Fervent and attack next turn. Alright, Rex Age, cool. Cool, bro. Or I could just Rishport them, which may be just as good. Alright, went GG. So GG. Burn this off. I think top. There's a lot of beatdown. So Deranged Hermit is the next card in their drawing here, and they're going to discard it and probably try to find something that can block. Like a Scavenging Ooze would be good here, but I'm gonna be hitting with Hazoret next turn, which is probably good enough. All right, they get rid of Pelucranos, and they find a Sylvan Caryatid. That's not going to be enough. I mean, it's going to be enough to keep them alive. Aggro. Concession? Probably. This is a beatdown. Alright. Well, 3-0 with Red Deck wins. I have not cubed this yet in this iteration. You know, it's always fun just to go back and be the fun police for a bit. You know, but you look at the matchups and, like, none of the wins were, like, some of the wins were easy. Like, that last game we played was really easy. But we had good draws. Like, we just, we hazarded them, like, basically on curve, or, like, one-off curve, but had, like, 4 1-drops. So the deck ran well, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm going to go ahead and put it up, and I'll probably do more cube, man. Like, I keep on saying it's my last cube, but, like, I'm always like, I haven't drafted this yet, and I want to draft it. So, like, if you haven't drafted cube and you're watching these videos, you enjoy them, please jump into the queue for the cube. You can do almost anything you want. Like, and one of the things that's cool about it is it definitely increases your overall wherewithal of, like, card evaluation, and synergy. Like, the last deck we played is a pretty easy synergy to understand. Just grab the best red cards, do the most damage. But there's a little more than that. I mean, like, there's also some utility cards. Like, I wanted Manic Vandal in there because of the artifacts. I wouldn't have minded a Braid, but I had to pick up the 1-drop. All that, but I think it's a very sweet, very fun format, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the content, and I hope it inspires you to jump in. All right, guys, take care now and enjoy. Oop, not this. All right, guys.